It's been a while, but I can't keep everything in my head. I'm working on a bunch of little things, and one of the little things is on how shapes, if you notice these two shapes here, how shapes go into one another. As you can see on the top shape, on the left and the right, is a 1. Okay? On the bottom in there, you see an 11 and a 9 next to the X's, Roman numerals. So I'm combining Roman numerals into shapes along with letters and numbers. If you take the pool table, it has 6 pockets. Now you take, what you do is you digitally, squarely design letters in the pockets. Most letters will be able to be done on the length of the table, okay? But only, I think it's 3 or 4 letters can only be done east-west on the table. 2 letters, G and Q, God and the Queen, okay, cannot be done without disforming or missing from one or the other, okay? Therefore, what you have is G and 6 cannot conform. They're the same exact design, but the G is not actually correct, and yet there's a G6 summit. Okay, now we have other letters that are the same as each other. When you do the full board and you design the O, it's a square. When you design the D, it's a square. Not cutting corners, like we're always cutting corners. And the other letter that you can do is the B, and the number is the 8. So what you have now is DOB 8. Date of birth of heaven and on earth, the 8 in pool. When you play the game of race in pool, which is the 15 balls, the one to knock in the last ball brings everything back up to heaven, bringing the spirit of earth into heaven, and we no longer need the reflection. We don't need it. Like everything that was mentioned, we are a reflection of God. Jack, the Jack card, many stories about the Jack. Jack, be nimble, be good. Jack, be quick. Jack jumps over the candlestick, the light of man. Why is it the light of man? Because the letter I with the dot, that's the candlestick. He jumps over it. He jumps over it. He knocks the dot off. It turns into a 1. 2 ones next to each other are 11. Why? Because when Jack goes jumping jacks, go the jacks. When Jack goes jumping, he's never jumping alone. Jack the spirit, angel spirit 5 with man 6, they're always jumping together. Anyways, what I'm going to get on to next is, so I'm doing the letters and the numbers and the shapes. I'm seeing what letters make what numbers. I'm overlapping numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 digitally. I'm also checking the planets. Some of the planets, according to their size, and how they fit into the tic-tac-toe, and for which reason are we on right now. Okay? One of the reasons you put them into the tic-tac-toe, you go by size. Another reason, you go by according to how they're set up. One of my questions is, does a spiral galaxy, when they come together, do they cause a friction? Are they turning the same way? When 4 of them come together, it creates a diamond. Then what happens to this diamond, okay, is absolutely nothing. The gases get trapped. The spirals keep on turning, and the outward spiral, the loop that's on the outside, on one of them, and the loop that's on the outside of the other one, they go in the same direction and they touch. They force on each other, forcing the spiral universe backwards against the grain. Now you have 4 of these, and you have 4 of them, you know, it creates the diamond. So you have 4 of these, so you've got 2 going out this way and 2 going out this way. Now what happens, okay, I'm going to try and find a piece of paper. What happens is while they're doing it, it creates the 6 and the 9, okay? And since this here down here is being forced by the gases, we'll call this the penis. We'll call these the testicles. But on the other side, okay, Okay? We have this design where they're going the opposite ways. It makes a V with the ovarian tubes over here, the ovarians. We have the V for life, and that's a woman's V genie. The genie place, where we all want to go. Okay? So that's what happens to these spirals. So anyways, once this is happening, and these two penises are pushing against each other, it's compressing the galaxies, forcing the diamond to force until all of a sudden it's like a Coke can. You ever see a Coke can when you get it cold, or a can of soup when you leave it get too hot, it explodes inside? Well, if you look at the shape of that, it's the same shape as our loonie. If you look at the shape of our toonie, that's another explanation I'm working on, is the toonie and the loonie. And there's a reason for it. Okay, I know the basics of the reason is when you take two loonies and you put the two loonies on each other, if you look, the angle, the corners are not as sharp anymore. Now they're round. That's why we have the jagged edges on the toonie, because it shows how close the corners became, and they're no longer corners. Now they're just scratch marks. And each scratch mark that goes up and down creates a 1 next to a 1, 1, 11, 11, 11, 11, however you want to see it. Because every single one of our letters and every single one of our numbers recreate each other. Okay? So, I did the thing with the planets and the names. I didn't go to Jew, Pi, Tur. Jew, Jewish. Pi, I'd like to know how to figure out what pi is, because Jupiter fits on the tic-tac-toe in the 5th position. So now, that's the pi position, because no matter how you turn the board, that 5 is always in the center, the core. I'm not sure the size of that planet, okay? But if you look on the planet just from a regular view, all you see is lines of 11, and you see blue. Blue. That planet is bluer and orange than any other planet. Well, anyways, that's just my opinion. Okay? Now, I showed you that I'm working on the shapes. I'm working on the crop circles. I was able to put cobwebs inside some crop circles that had no cobwebs before. Okay? And it all depends on which shape it is, because not all shapes fit into each other. And then again, do they? Because they're not exact. Some exact shapes that they make online are not exact. I have a square paper at home. They don't work out. So other things happen to these designs. I haven't worked on all of them yet. Then there's the game of pool. The race home. The race home. A game of pool. Get into your cars. Let's line up on the grid. The race home. The 1-9, the 2-10, the 3-11, the 4-12, the 5-13, the 6-14, 7-15. They're all a difference of 8 in between, and they're also the same color. See, the solid balls is God. That's heaven. We're on earth. Well, how do I know? Well, it's pretty simple. In jail, they wear pinstripes. We're pinned to this earth, and the only way out is death. So we're definitely pinstripes, and Ronald McDonald shows you that on his sign. He's wearing red and white stripes. Spirit of creation. 2 colors, yellow and red, and the white. White is of the spirit. But the spirit has been used many times, and it's not a virgin. But every time it's used by God, it's renewed, so it becomes a virgin again. Anything that passes through God's hand or mind is always a virgin, no matter how much she's not. Once he passes it, he baptizes everything back to the way it was in purity. Then again, we have the 9 ball, and 9 ball, the center ball is the 9, the first ball is the 1, they're both yellow. Okay, you got to sink the 9 ball. When you sink that, you have sunk the planet Earth, and it's back in heaven. Just like when you go in the other pool game and you sink the 8 ball. Why does the 8 ball have an 8? Well, go to McDonald's, take one of their bags and cut out the 2 McDonald's signs and stick them together close to close, and you'll see the same design as the 8 ball. The 8 ball happens to be earth and heaven. You see, there is no other ball. The only other ball opposite of the 8 by 8 is the white ball. So therefore, the white ball is God, and it's his ball, and he's taking home earth. Or is earth going to take him over? Is he going to sink the one and scratch my back? Anyways, I'm going to get back to Jupiter. And Jew, the P letter is the 16th letter for one spirit and 6 man. See, well, man has to play God on this earth, he has to become 7. The only way for him to become 7, he needs one more to his number 6 to become 7. Therefore, P, okay, the P letter stands for God. The I of the Jupai, the I stands for birth. It's the 9th letter, and I've said it before, in between words. And it's the 9th month of birth. Terre. Well, terre is easy in French. It's earth. Jew, God, a birth. Just like they said. The Jew is the God of earth. And not only that, I can back it up. I can back it up with designs and crop circles that create the Magen David of the Jewish star. But I'm sorry to all you Jews out there, it also has the cross, because without the cross we wouldn't be the X-Men. And without the cross you don't have any forents to hold up any of the walls. So if you don't work with the cross and the Magen David, you shouldn't be working or wasting your time at all. Accept what must be accepted of the truth, and the truth will always be. It's not what I know, it's what I designed. And I get all this information on how to design on the internet. It shows me how to make a square. It shows me how to make a line. That's all I need to know. Because once you follow, everything goes in formation. The tic-tac-toe is actually, it's an explanatory board showing you where to put things. Then you have to know what to do with them in those positions. And the crap game tells you how to use certain combinations. When you throw the dice, you roll a 6 and a 1, it's 7, it's God. You throw in a 5 and a 2, well, that's angel playing God with beta, because angel and beta are from earth, and that's God of the earth. Then you get 3 and 4, creation of angel. God again, 7. Once the combinations work, that's how they go. I'm learning to do my fingers. This hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50, no, we're going to go 4, okay? 4 is angel. 5, 6, the same fingers, okay? 4 and 6 are angel and man. And that's what it is. Angel and man is 4 and 6. Yes, there's other combinations. You go the one spirit here on this thumb, but on this thumb, when you go to 10, you got 1 and 9. The birth of spirit, the spirit returned back into heaven. God took it back. You didn't need it. It was the birth of the spirit. I don't know exactly how all the fingers go, but when you get to the 3rd finger, it's the longest one. And you're creating a fight by holding up the wrong finger. This is to create and command. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Create and command the earth and the heavens. That's the way it works. So now you got the 8th finger, the 8th finger, and they work. Okay? But if they don't work, that's okay, because now I know I'm wrong and I can go on to something else. What I'm also looking at is the chessboard, the number of squares on the board, the number of moves for each person, what they carry on their head. They have little dots. Well, to me, those are planets. And there's 3 of them with dots. One has a crown with a cross on it. And the queen has a lot of U's all around. Why does the queen have U's all around? For W. You and the angel for your life. The U's all around. The queen is beta. The woman who created everything on earth. Without her, we have nothing. The next thing is why we're here. Why we have to go back. Why they have to rejuvenate this earth. Number 1, evolution of the universe consistently moves on and never changes. Our earth has been in here a long time. God has projected his spirit into this earth, and it can only do with the earth with what's in the earth. Now the universe has moved on, but the earth is still here, and there's no injection strong enough into our earth so God can send the messages on how the earth should work. We're still at war. We're at war in the year 2000 when we can fly to the moon, and yet we can't go there to live? Holy mac. Anyways, that's the video for now. I got to get back to work. I hope everybody's okay. Take care.